Hello, online crew. I'm back and I've got a technical issue as soon as I've come back. So let me just fix this. Hang on. I've just got to fix a little technical issue I'm having. So hello, if you're over on Instagram or you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, I'm just trying to get the video in my group because it's told me there's a technical issue and we need people over there to see it. So how are you? Have you missed me at all? Oh, no, we're not going public. We're going into a group. Work it out, Helen. I feel like I've been away for ages. Okay, post in the group. Dun, dun, dun. Let's hope that works. So sorry about that little interruption there. Just hoping that it can appear in my group. Okay. So only been back a few days. Yeah, it's in the group now. Awesome. I'm still a little bit upside down. Haven't caught up on enough sleep yet. Still waking up at like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, but I'm sure a few more days and we'll be good. So if you can see me and hear me fine, let me know. Hello, Debbie. Thank you. Missed you. What a holiday. Oh, it was an amazing holiday. So hello to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere that I am live at the moment. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about or where I've been, I was fortunate enough to earn an incentive trip with my network marketing company to Cabo in Mexico. I got to tell you, it's a very long way away from Australia, and we didn't actually come across any other Australians in either of the resorts that we were in, and I guess that's because it's so far away, but absolutely worth it. It took us 34 hours to get there, and it took us 39 hours to get home because we got stuck in LA. We had to sit on the plane. It's like a 16-hour flight from LA to Melbourne, 3 flights for us, and we had to sit on the tarmac for 2 hours before we took off on that 14-hour flight. So it made a 14-hour flight or a 16-hour flight into an 18-hour flight, like just ridiculous because of a toilet maintenance issue. Anyway, the beautiful thing about it is that the trip included my husband, which very, very grateful to our company for including partners with that. We went a few days early and stayed in a resort on our own and just acclimatized and just swam and all-inclusive, guys. Have you been to all-inclusive resorts? They are dangerous. So we were swimming and on the margaritas and the gins and the food, and like all-inclusive is a bit of a catch, but so fortunate. But what I wanted to share with you on this video is more so kind of the business side of it. The beautiful thing about incentive trips, like with your company, is obviously a lot of the top leaders get to go on the incentive trips, and the conversations that you have around the pool and at the dinner table and cocktail parties, all of that over the time that you are there. This really was a trip of a lot of leisure. We had one meeting for 2 hours, and that was it for the whole time that we were there. The rest was just cocktail parties and drinks and swimming, and like it really was just a full restful trip, which was absolutely amazing. And naturally what you do when you're on trips like this with top leaders is you have a lot of conversations, like what's working for you, how did you get in the top 20 for this incentive trip, and all the people that are doing things really well on different platforms as well. So some of you may know I'm on TikTok. I've got over 60,000 followers on TikTok. That's my like menopause kind of channel, but I'm also on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm on a lot of platforms doing a lot of things. So I had a lot of conversations with people that are on TikTok, that are on Instagram, on Facebook, doing all the things. And it's just really interesting to hear how people are navigating social media today, like in today's environment. So there are a lot of things that I picked up from other leaders in what they're doing, but I just wanted to share with you sort of the 3 top things that I came away from what other leaders are experiencing, and similar to myself in some circumstances, and what they're doing to get their results on social media. So I hope this is helpful to you. Okay, the first thing is showing up, the amount of times that you need to show up on social media to get results. And basically, you need to show up every day. Now, some of you may not have that consistency on social media. You might post, leave it for a few days, post something else. Are you in your stories continuously? Are you showing up continuously? The people that are sort of at the top of, our company anyway, they are showing up like daily, all the time. And in a certain way, which I'll get to at the moment, but there is no question, talking to a lot of these top leaders, is that trust is a big thing in 2025, and it will even be more important in 2026. We need to build trust with our audience as a human being first. So some of you have still got the mindset when you show up on social media and you think, what can I post to get a customer? Or what can I post to get a team member? I was just talking about this in depth with the VIP students. I've just got to offer a 2-hour call with them. And we were talking about this. People, we are in a relationship business. Like, you guys know that. If you're in social selling and network marketing, we are in a relationship business. But the trust is really, really important these days. So people need to trust you as a person before they trust you in the sale. So how are you really showing up on social media, aside from sort of sharing your business, but as you as a person? Are you letting people in? Are you letting the walls down enough for people to get to know snippets of your personality? Like, how well do you let people get to know you on social media? How often do you show up? Because I guarantee you, the people that are showing up more are the ones that are winning in this industry. If you are in and out of your business, you show up on social media one week, but don't post for 4 or 5 days, and then you're good, and then you're not, and you randomly show up in your stories. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You will get left behind. So what it takes these days is showing up every day. So that's posting, obviously, on your profile or Instagram, or a short form videos on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is. And in your stories a lot, but not only in your stories to share what it is that you're selling and what you're offering and the problems that you solve, but how are you really letting people get to know you? The trust is the key in 2025 and moving into 2026. So you've got to let people know your personality. Okay. How much of that are you doing? Like, do you kind of listen to that and think, I probably should show up a little bit more than I do, or I should show up in my stories and share a little bit more of my world and my life? Like, does that ring true for you? Just put yes in the comments if you know you probably need to show up a little bit more. And trust me, the people that are getting the sales that are really winning on social media, I bet they are showing up a lot more often, like, and a lot more consistently than you are. Okay, so you might need to up your game. Now, I talked about this before I left on my trip to Cabo, is how important it is in October, November, and December. And let's face it, October is almost finished. November and December, how important it is to you to show up more and share more of you and your world and your life and what you do than ever before. If you want results, definitely for Black Friday, you want results coming into Christmas, and you want to set yourself up for success in 2026, because it's the work that you do now that you will really benefit from in about 90 days time. Okay. So now is the time that you want to get really, like, a bit more organized with your daily method of operation when you're posting conversations. I share all the time here the 2 most important things that you need to be doing every single day, without question, without thinking about it, is content and conversations. And that just got reinforced from all the top leaders that I spoke to in Cabo. Content and conversations is what they're doing all the time. Okay. Second thing, invest more time in building a relationship once you get the leads. Okay. Now, there are leads all around you. If you're doing stories, there's people watching your stories. I shared with you in the lead generation bootcamp. If you did that, look at the people that are looking at you. Network with the people that are looking at you. Strike up relationships, like in conversations with the people that are looking at you. So this is a classic case of slow down to speed up the sale. Nurturing your leads and spending more time talking to people, asking good quality questions, and slowing down and getting to know somebody and digging into their pain a little bit more. When you really nurture the lead in that way, and you have multiple touch points in nurturing your lead, then you'll speed up the sales. Okay. So what's really important and what a lot of top leaders are doing is they're spending a lot more time nurturing their leads before they actually get the sale. Some of you are jumping too fast. I talk about this a lot. I've talked about this a lot recently. Even when somebody raises their hand, you do a really well-crafted post or a reel or something in your stories and says, can I have the information on that? And you just give them the information and you never hear from them again. They ghost you. Why is that? It's because you went straight into information versus asking a question or two and creating an emotional connection. Because this is where we're coming back to the trust again. So slow down the nurture process. Slow down and have multiple touch points with your prospects in order to speed up the sale. I hope that makes sense to you. So nurturing leads is something that, wasn't a thing a year or two ago. Like, people were happy to just click on something and buy. People were happy to ask you for information and just buy. We are not in that world anymore. And even the people that are the top leaders, I mean, yes, they might get some automated sales for sure. But a lot of them are saying they're nurturing their leads a lot more than they've ever had to do in the past. Because, you've got to build up that trust with the sale. People are more skeptical. They're more skeptical of where they're spending their money. They're still spending money. Don't think that people are not spending money. They're absolutely spending money. There is opportunity for every single one of you to still make a lot of money in this industry and get a lot of sales. But people are valuing their dollar a lot more. So they're pickier on what they're buying and what they're getting for their purchase. And you are a huge part of that equation. You come with the purchase. Your follow-up, have you got any freebies to give, your people, when they buy something? Have you got any resources that you can attach to it? Have you got anything extra that you can support the sale with? Guides and things like that. Like, this is what a lot of the top leaders are, doing more of, to give people more value for their purchase. Do you understand that? So the second point is investing more time in nurturing, the leads. It's just, there's so many touch points needed these days before people actually put their hand in their pocket. And you need to invest your time and energy. And if somebody just puts their hand up because you've done a well-crafted post or a reel or a story and they ask for information, most of you will get all excited and go, oh, I've got a lead, I'm going to get a sale. But the difference between getting the lead and nurturing that lead to the sale, there are multiple touch points. And so you've got to have a really good system, whether that's paper or it's like a Google Drive or a Trello board or like a Teamsy software that you pay for to track your people. How many of you are not tracking? If you're not tracking who's looking at you, so let's say you're doing stories every day, but you're not looking at the people that are looking at your stories, you are missing leads. And if you're not, initiating contact, what's the word I'm looking for? Initiating a conversation or initiating a connection with those leads, with the people that are looking at you, then you're missing opportunities. Okay. Top leaders are still nurturing leads. It's not just sitting back on social media, posting something and expecting something to happen. You got to nurture leads a lot more than you've ever had to do so in the past. Okay. And this is what top leaders are doing very well. They're just spending more time nurturing and having conversations. So that may be something you need to invest some more time in. I know no one wants to do it when they come to social media. They think attraction marketing and they're like, I'm just going to post and the leads will come. We are not in that world anymore. Okay. The third one is it's a resurgence and a commitment to going live. Live is where it's at again. How many of you avoid going live in any way, shape, or form? You don't go live in videos like this. You don't go live in your stories. Everything's like pre-crafted, or it's just, a picture or video with the words on the top, like you're not using your actual voice. A lot of the TikTok leaders that I spoke to, they're getting most of their leads and sales from going live on TikTok. So live. Facebook, connected with a lot of top leaders, and we're looking at their social media, even their personal profiles. They're all going live on their personal profiles. Instagram, you might be doing reels, but are you ever going live on Instagram? Like I'm going live right now. Live is where you need to show up for exactly the two reasons that I've already mentioned previously. The trust. You can speed up the trust on social media if you show up. But if you hide behind content, if you hide behind ChatGPT for well-crafted content just with a picture of your face, and you're never sharing like the real you through live video, live on TikTok or live on Facebook or live on Instagram, or get into your stories and speak. You don't want to speak for too long in stories because stories are short, but live is where you will build trust faster, and you can build that connection to then send them somewhere else, whether that's Messenger or, you're getting somebody's email address or a Facebook group or something like that to nurture the lead, because the nurturing of the lead is so much more than we've ever had to do from before. And I was quite surprised some of the problems that I have with converting leads on TikTok, etc. The top leaders also still have those problems. They're not immune to any, like we're not in a click and buy world anymore. So that everybody's having to work a lot harder for their sales. But the trust is key. Nurturing the lead is key. And how you can do that and speed that up is going live wherever you can go live. So there are so many more things that I can share with you, but, we'd be here all day. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to get to Cabo on an incentive trip, fully paid for, inclusive resort. Unbelievable. If any of you have the opportunity to earn incentive trips, like work hard to get on those trips. It builds your belief in what you're doing. It builds belief in the industry that you are in. It helps you be a little bit tougher in going after what it is that you want. Like a lot of you want it, but you're not doing the work for it, or you're not showing up in a way that you need to show up. You're not being consistent enough, or maybe you're not letting the walls down. You're hiding behind ChatGPT content and not telling your real story. The other thing, and it's not one of these three, but I was speaking to a top leader, like hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok and Instagram, is how important like a little bit of humor is with like throwing into your content, and just, not taking everything so seriously. It is, you can turn up on social media and have a well-crafted brand, so you know who you help and what problems you solve for those people, and go to ChatGPT and get a whole lot of content kind of, examples, and then throw out a lot of valuable information. But just think about that for a second. Is it all like serious content? Are you ever showing up in a funny way or an entertaining way every now and again? Like, are you throwing a little bit of humor in there? Are you like laughing at yourself, doing something silly every now and again? Like, there is no doubt that the entertainment aspect of social media plays a big part in people's followings. You would know that from your consumption of social media. What do you gravitate towards? What do you watch a lot of? What do you get stuck in the scroll? And you'll probably get stuck, looking at a lot of content that entertains you in some way. So for those of you, and I know some of you will think, well, I'm a bit of an introvert. I'm not naturally funny. I'm not entertaining. A lot of us are like that. I'm not a naturally kind of entertaining person, but I've realized the significance in, and sometimes when I have done it, just thrown something funny in and ridiculous every now and again, it gets a lot more views just because it's different or it's entertaining in some way. So for some of you, don't be afraid to throw in a little bit of humor amongst, if you're providing a lot of valuable information. Okay. So just checking for any questions here. Yeah, long flights, Debbie, long flights. I need to do more lives and videos. So well done for recognizing that and saying it out loud. So Debbie, I would definitely encourage you to do that. If you go live, you're going to stand out for, not just for Debbie, but any of you listening. If you go live, you're going to stand out from the crowd. Is everyone going to dig what you say? No, but that's okay. We're not here to keep everyone happy. You're here to attract your target market. Okay. So by going live, you can speed up that process in attracting the right people to you and weeding out the rest. Okay. Does it make a difference how long you go live for? Well, yes and no. If people aren't used to you going live, I wouldn't suddenly go live for 30 or 40 minutes, just talking randomly about stuff. So if you're just starting out lives and people aren't used to seeing you live, then, probably round about the 10-minute mark would be a good time frame. Just, don't take that as gospel. If you've got enough compelling information and you're interesting to listen to and you've got good, valuable information, it can be as long as it needs to. But the important thing with live is, however you show up live, is just be you. Take the pressure off yourself in thinking that you need to be perfect. Like some of you don't go live because of the fear of people judging you, or you're not successful enough, so who's going to listen to you? Or what if I mix up my words? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I get some negative feedback? Honestly, who cares? If you want results in your business, just go live and be you. Have some kind of structure to, this is as elaborate as I get, guys. I have a piece of paper. It's a scrap piece of paper with my 3 tips written on it and the heading of today's video. That's as elaborate as I get on every single live video I've done for years. I have these pieces of paper. I don't waste paper. I just cut up paper. I halve it and I just write handwritten notes. For every single one of our videos is just sitting on my computer in front of me, and I'll just glance down to remind myself of what I need to say. But certainly don't write out if you're going to go live, don't write it all out and read it. Like you're losing your genuine or authenticity if you do that. But just have something valuable to say and laugh at yourself if you make a mistake. No one cares. I mix up my words all the time. You guys know that. Who cares? I don't care. You don't really care. It just makes me more human. Okay. The longer you do it, probably the more, we've been here for 20 odd minutes. But I've talked on live videos for 20 odd minutes or so for years. You guys are kind of used to that from me. So it's not odd for me to turn up and do like a 20-minute video. If you've never done it before, that might be unusual for people to see from you. So just do it a little bit shorter. But I wouldn't go live for just a minute or 2. It's not long enough for the algorithm to do anything with it or push it out to anybody. Okay. The other thing with live videos is, if you're just starting out with live, is don't be disillusioned or discouraged if there's a big fat 0 and no one's watching, because majority of the people will catch a live video on the replay anyway. And nobody that watches a replay would know that you had nobody watching then when you were live. They've got no idea of knowing that. Just make sure your description of your live video gives people a reason to watch it live or on the replay. Don't ever go live without something written at the top about what you're going live about. Okay, so there's just a couple of little tips, for you. It's a good question, Jane. Need to do more lives. Trial reels are good. We've just got restrictions with trial reels now. We used to be able to do about 20 and not get flagged, but now, I'm only doing one trial reel instead of, the 20 that we used to do. So trial reels are kind of fading out, which is interesting. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. There's so much more I could share with you. Hopefully you followed along with my stories. I shared, we had a foam party in the pool. Paul and I went on a sunsets cruise. Like, we did so much fun stuff, but so grateful for this industry to give me the opportunity to go on trips like that, like across the other side of the world, for the leaders that you get to network with, like, just head down, bum up, do what you need to do, be more consistent, show more of you, let people get to know you to build the trust, and where possible, if you're not going live very often, up your game in going live. Okay. I'll share some more tips with you in a couple of days. So I'm back on my normal live schedule. So if you're in US and Canada, that's Monday night and Monday, Wednesdays. If you're in Australia, that's Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I will see you live in a couple of days. For those of you in my coaching community, we've got the live Q&A Zoom calls for October. So don't miss that opportunity to get on Zoom with me and ask me whatever questions that you've got about, whatever you're working on social media, so I can give you a little bit of coaching. Okay. So I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye.